bumps for sure, but this is a big bump.
Oh, I've seen it coming. No, yeah, it's a gale force wind.
I wish I had been more entrepreneurial. I wish I had taken more risks.
29 is a bit like being 50 in the sense of that you spend some time looking at the last 29 years and the relationships you've had and the life choices you've made, and that's the time when people generally break up with the person and move to another country and make those huge life choices, because it's the exact same crux as being 50 in a sense. It's a reckoning. It's a time of reckoning. It's like, what am I doing? Where am I going? What do I want to be?
So this would just be your classic order. Again, perennials, hostas, and all of that. I really wish I was 29 again. At 29, I was full of energy. It was a time of optimism. Jobs were plentiful. It was great. It was absolutely great to be young and to be confident in your future, and I loved it.
It hasn't really sunk in that I'm 29 yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe it will sink in when I'm 30.
In my opinion, I'm somewhat behind where I would have hoped to have been.
I was sick for a little while, past year especially, so just focusing on getting better.
You're no longer capable of sort of performing at the level you once did, right? I mean, you wake up in the morning after going out to a bar and you're ill.
And at age 29, I have a lot of debt, considerably a lot of debt.
It's like a roller coaster. I go back and forth as to which way I should go.
So in France, I'm gonna tell you, they don't care. We don't care. 29 is good.
Decided to have a baby. Because you start measuring yourself against your friends who have achieved the things that you thought you'd be at, and you haven't, so it's just a time to freak out.
It's when you get a motorbike, which I have.
I feel like I should be an adult, but yet I'm not quite there yet.
I think that people our age ask a lot of the wrong questions.
It's just a comment on our level of success. Our meaning Canada's in creating a very prosperous society where people have all the necessities of life taken care of, right? Food, clothing, shelter, education, job, and then what do you have left to worry about? Oh, well, whether I achieved enough.
Like, we're all still living really childish lifestyles. And I'm not sure if that's persevering against the scripted capitalist stream of owning that house, or if we're just kind of being really immature and not growing up. But either way, it's fun.
Well, when I started at 29, it was, I think that was 1978. And so it's just at the beginning, the cusp of the whole 80s. Just do it, shop till you drop. Everything worked. It was the Canadian dream coming alive. And again, I loved it.
The level of accomplishment I've reached at this point is way lower than I had thought it would be by the time I was 29, almost turning 30. I thought I would have a career, a house, like something to be working towards, whether it's traveling around the world or some goal that I actually could see coming to pass, and it doesn't look like it doesn't look like any of it's going to come to pass.
Losing my hair and my bags on my knees. I'm feeling my age. When I was born, my dad was 30, so it's kind of putting myself in that kind of situation of like thinking, and I'm like, I can't imagine having a kid right now. I can hardly look after myself. I shouldn't be getting fired from my job at 29, and I shouldn't be living in a house with, you know, communists and radicals and such, but I am, and that's like, that kind of excites me, the fact that I'm not letting go of my youth, but I'm still like young at heart.
It's really, a lot of it's just mannerisms. I'll just be sitting there sometimes. I'll just be like, I'm sitting in an old way, or just have just the way younger people look at you.
That'll grow maybe 6-7 feet. That's Japanese maple. You finish university, you start to put your life structure together, so part of that is getting married, having children, buying your first house. We bought our first house, was an income property in Hyde Park, and we lived on the ground floor and rented out the second and third. And then a year and a half later, we sold that and moved up to a single-family home in Etobicoke. You felt like you were a player. You were in charge of your life, and all the things that you dreamed of as a younger person were in fact coming true. And you thought also that it would never end. How could it end? Because after all, we were the boomer generation, and it is just not going to end. But it ended.
You know, if I was to get married tomorrow, at least I can say, you know what, I've traveled the world, and you know, I've done things on my terms, and I'm kind of ready. You know, it's like I didn't go the traditional route.
Now you see people in their 30s, 40s, changing careers, going back to school.
We don't care to move up the ladder so much.
Our parents' generation was, let's work, work, work until we retire and then enjoy life, and I think we, you know, most of us are trying the opposite.
Both my grandmothers and my mother both told me not to get married. They're like, don't bother.
A lot of my friends were married and had kids already by 29.
It's likely the woman that's going to be asked, so what are you going to do now? You know, what's going on? What are you? You're 29.
There's this pressure of, you know, the time is ticking.
I've noticed this year, all my friends, not in my immediate circle, but just outside that circle, are having kids. 2 of my friends asked me if they could borrow some sperm to make a kid. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
And she's pregnant now.
It wasn't borrowed. They're keeping it.
They're keeping the sperm. That's true. So I'm kind of.
So it's your kid,
yeah, I'm kind of having a kid.
Yeah.
In a way.
Traditionally, you're supposed to be married, so you get married. Whether you're gay or straight, you marry the man. and now we question all that.
I am aware that I'm at the age where my parents had me, and I kind of feel this whole second cycle of life happening. Like I look at my dad now, and I kind of see my grandfather, and I guess if I had a kid right now, the kid would be seeing me the way I saw my dad. And I'm just aware of that, and I feel like I'm about to start repeating my whole life over from scratch, but I'm just playing a different role. It's like the whole play over again, but I've switched roles. And then at some point, my kid will be looking at me, thinking of me the way he saw my dad now, and you just keep going over and over again. Probably just twice, 3 times if you're lucky. But no, I don't feel any pressure.
I don't really feel the pressure, though. I hear my mom talk about it because she's like, "Oh, I'm getting old. You better have kids soon." And I want to have kids when it's right, as opposed to please my mom. It would make her very happy.
Well, I just graduated from university, and I was joining a large corporation in Toronto, a very high-profile corporation, doing the kind of work that I wanted to do, which a lot of kids today coming out of university don't seem to have that opportunity, and my generation did. Whereas in the 90s, it got very mean-spirited and very narrow, and corporations raced to the bottom, who could downsize the most in the shortest period of time. And I don't think we've ever really recovered from that.